Greetings, greetings. Welcome to Kiy NY7. Hope all is well. And thanks for coming through. My channel speaks mostly, the main focus is on things to do with the community, African community, or quote unquote Black community. Things that have to do with the astros, would do things to do with astronomy. Sometimes astrology comes in with that. Also, things to do with spirituality and our own sexualities. Today is Sunday, so I do like to do things that I've been calling spiritual Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And glad you're here. Or if you catch the replay, please consider subscribing, hitting like, and leave a comment. It is an open chat room. Hope I'm loud enough. I'm going to check my audio real quick too. So this one is regarding MAGA, the MAGA pastor that just recently was he said he's speaking from biblical terms. So I looked it up too in Deuteronomy. He's saying take it back to the old school. But he's particularly coming for Black youth from what he's saying. So that's why I put YNs. YN stands for young niggas. All right. So YN. So we'll say like N word, YN young words or whatever. Won't be a long stream either. Last time I was on was Sunday, so it's been about a week. There's a lot going on and things I'm working out with YouTube. I guess you want to say behind the scenes or whatever. And out and very transparent. That's how I am. So also with this stream, I wanted to talk about the suspiciously silent three-eye atlas, at least the information. It's in our solar system now, and it's just wow because is it because of the U.S. shutdowns, or are they hiding something from us that we haven't been able to really see any images or hardly any information? So I'm going to show a clip of what I'm speaking on with the MAGA pastor that's attacking YNs. And I get we have a problem. There is a problem in the some of the inner cities of Black youth, not all. His solution is stoning them. So he wants to go back to like the Stone Age and all that. So we're gonna get right into that, and then I'll do my intro. All right, and thank you for coming through.
Of blacks who are committing murder is more than
whites.
Right.
And whites are significantly greater, 60% compared to 13%
Percentage of the population. Yeah.
So if you take that, then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious. They don't listen. He lists some characteristics and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son. And then they stone him to death. They kill him.
And an armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
violent
culture.
crimes.
Basically take ghetto culture. It would describe this to a T.
So he said it right there. So he said ghetto culture. So we've got to be honest too. A lot of the culture in American Western society doesn't show a good view of Black people or our even awareness of how great of a culture we come from. Especially we come from the most ancient of all cultures. So we're not really representing ourselves as well as we could with our youth. I agree. But to say we need to go back and stone them, their fathers need to do what they did biblically. Sounds like what is going on here? So I'm going to go right to that verse. Well, the whole thing, right? Deuteronomy 21:18. Excuse me. It's 18 through 21, Deuteronomy 21. If someone has a stubborn and rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother and will not listen to them when they discipline him, his father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him to the elders. So it's saying like at the gate of his town, and they shall say to the elders, this son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He is a glutton and drunkard. So this is the part that at least Dr. Rashad Ritchie is pointing out, that this still has a difference in why the behavior is there. This particular scripture speaks on being a glutton, which is a sin, one of the seven sins, seven, right? And being a drunkard. So it says, then all the men of his town are to stone him to death. You must purge the evil from among you. All Israel will hear of it and be afraid. So it is right there. But it's like the way he's saying it too, he's just targeting one race of people. So I was wondering, yeah, some of your thoughts on that. And again, I was saying how more pastors are speaking out more. And I just want to see people's true colors with not just what they're saying biblically, but where are you getting it from, and what is your true motive? Are you really God-like? And do you feel that people can hide behind pretending to be God-like and they're going to be saved? I don't think so. Because if there's a place called hell, you on your way there. I don't know of a religion that is worthy that would teach you to teach other people to end lives and things like that instead of other ways to solve the problem. So that's an issue. He's got a problem.
Stoned him to death. They kill him.
And an armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
Violent
culture.
crimes.
Basically, take ghetto culture, it would describe this to a T.
You guys are ridiculous.
So then we got Dr. Rashad Ritchie speaking on that, but it caught my attention. So I thought about it. I was like, well, it's Sundays too. So I have been looking at pastors and what they've been saying lately, and looking into false prophecies, which we've been told about for decades now. We said there's going to be false prophets coming. There's going to be people to trick us. They trick you out your money. They'll trick you out of your life, your soul. If you ain't got nothing else, you got a soul, right? Don't get tricked out of your soul. Don't get tricked out of your blessings. You got to be careful. Speaking of being tricked, I'll come back to that too and show some more of what was said on that show. They're called Right Wing Watch. Um, Also for my astronomy part of the things, like I said, I'm an amateur astronomer. I'm someone that does study things that have to do with space, all kind of different things, the cosmos, the planets. I don't have one specific specified area that I only care about. I like learning about a lot of different things with it. So I do bring it up on here from time to time. Right here, I was going to show, where's my little astronomy thing at, though? I don't appreciate it not being there. All right, that's fine. Moving on. Okay, so let me show this. Now, since the government shutdowns, we've had issues with getting information from NASA. We're being told that NASA is part of the government shutdown. So that's why we're not seeing, or at least getting, any new information about the 3I Atlas. It is already in our solar system, which I mentioned before October 3rd hit. As of October, it's been in our solar system. This is Mars. Luckily, we do have cameras on Mars, and we're just hoping for some kind of images so that we can see what this thing really is. Some people say it's a comet. Some people say it's a mothership with aliens on it. Some are saying that the particles that are surrounding this comet-like matter are tiny alien ships, things like that. But from findings, they're really ice particles. And as soon as they're in a reflection of the sun, they start to melt away. So the biggest news that I do have that I could say about the 3I Atlas currently is that it's pouring out water. The closer and closer it's been getting to past Mars and on its way towards the sun, it's been pouring out water that's describing like a water hose. So that's something that's interesting. This whole thing is spectacular. This is only the third interstellar object that we've ever seen, and it's been studied, and it's the largest. And it's different because it's defying science. They don't understand how it got here. How did it get into our solar system, and what is its purpose? But the hardest thing to deal with right now is with these government shutdowns, is that it's shutting down our communications with our NASA and our computers, computerized cameras that are out near Mars. The one that's going to get the image the closest is called JUICE. So once JUICE gets juiced up, it'll have some images for us of this 3I Atlas. But the downside is we're not going to get any of that until February of 2026. So we'll be waiting months before we get to see anything. So right now, like I put there, it's the 3I Atlas. As of October 2025, which we're in right now, it's passing Mars as I speak, and it's going towards the sun. Once it's towards the sun, it's going to be behind the sun where we can't see it. The sun is going to be right in between the 3I Atlas and Earth. So it's going to make it very hard for us to see it or observe it from any one of our telescopes, which we have giant telescopes spaced out around Earth, but we're not going to be able to see much because it's just too close to the sun. But the question still remains: why are we not getting any information? Why can't every time I go on NASA, they acting like the 3-eye atlas don't exist? They talk about it, but then they don't have no further information on it. So it's very strange too that they are keeping us from information we're entitled to. And it's different. Some people may not care. There's a lot of people that don't care about what's going on in space, but those of us that do and realize how impactful it is, we deserve some information. So, in showing that, I'm going to go ahead and show more on this person that's a Utah Christian nationalist. And when I look up Christian nationalism and what it is, it shows that they're extremists. They're like extreme people. So, that's what seems to be going on. But I just want to show a little bit more of what they were going on.
Let's say that somebody was coming into our church and they're black, and would they be eligible for membership in our church? Yes, they of course they would. They'd be eligible for membership in our church. But would they be permitted to participate in, embody, and practice what I would call black culture generally in our church? The answer is absolutely not. Why? Because the characteristics that mark black culture as a generalization, in the same way Paul's talking about Cretans on Crete, they are evil, murderous, violent, bestial people. They steal, they kill, they destroy, they look like Satan in how they act. They are sinful to the core. They have besetting sins that are like fatherlessness, sexual immorality. They molest children at a high rate. All of any criminal statistic that you could look at, almost pretty much without exception, they excel at them. Black culture. So when we make this generalization, one of the purposes of it, one of the points of utility for it, is for black people who do not embody that culture to repudiate it, hate it, and also for policymakers to make the kind of political movements and in terms of law and order that would usher in the change over time of that culture. One of them would be something like, I tweeted about this, the law of Moses in Deuteronomy 21 concerning a rebellious child. If 5 to 6% of black, I think it's something like 5% of black males are murderers. Think about that?
Yeah, 5% of young Africans are committing the bulk of the murders.
So if you had 100 black men in a room, even just, I think specifically, if you had 100 black men in a room, 5 of them would have committed murder, which is a lot, quite a few.
One, as Matt Walsh pointed out, the actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than whites. Right. And whites are significantly greater.
60% compared to 13% of
percentage of the population. Yeah.
So if you take that, and then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious, they don't listen. He lists some characteristics, and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son, and then they stone him to death. They kill him.
And an armed robber would certainly be one of those.
Oh, absolutely. Armed robber, all the ghetto
violent
culture.
crimes.
Basically, take ghetto culture, it would describe this to a T. If you did that over 3 generations, how much violent crime would you have in the 3rd and 4th generation?
That's tough to bear. I didn't hear some of that until just now, so I'll react along with it accordingly. This is a Christian nationalist pastor. I don't know how you say his name, Suave or whatever he think he is. What's interesting is that his facts are very wrong, really wrong. And when people give strong facts, I always tell them to cite their source, things like that. The highest number of molestation and child predators comes from Caucasian white males. You could pick a source that you want. It'll be there. It's been prominent, and it's been prominent since the very beginning. So if you're gonna pick like targeted talking points, you want to be correct. And this channel is right here on YouTube. So it's spewing racism, hatred, and it's totally incorrect. His stats are all over the place. Um, Black men are in more of their children's lives than any other race of man. That's also statistically been proven. There are a lot of broken homes, but that doesn't mean they're mostly broken homes. It depends on what the media in certain areas want to focus on when it comes to Black people, Black youth, and the Black community. So we don't tolerate that here. But what I do like to do is show certain points of views, and then we could use it as a talking point. I'm not familiar with this person. It was Dr. Rashad Ritchie from the Young Turks that brought this to our attention. So that's where I got this man from. Very surprised they even have a channel that goes on like that, but I guess that's just what it is and what's allowed. So he clearly made a statement that he feels that the Black youth should be executed, or at least the fathers should take their sons out and stone them to death, which they did, and it was described in Deuteronomy 20 was 18:21, which I showed. Quite disgusting. Yes, it's just craziness. But yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Iron Fist. How are you doing? And look like somebody in the chat said they do. So you care. I had to go back a bit. You care about things to do with astronomy. I think that's what you were saying. So that is good. Um, what was I? Oh, I'm pulling something right back out. I wanted to also go over some dates that has to do with the astronomy part of things, but it just gives you something to think about. A lot of religion is going to be used to push whatever narratives people have, and it's sad because you're now using God. You're using Jesus Christ if you believe in that, or if you believe in other religious things. People are using whatever they want to paint the narrative, and it's getting deadly. It's deadly. So how can you not speak on it? Um, I wanted to go over some dates. So for the three-eye atlas, back to the astronomy part of things, October 29th is when it's going to be officially out of our view. November 2nd, throughout the month of November, it's going to come from behind the sun. And then at that point, that's when we're hoping to see which direction that this three-eye atlas is even going to be moving towards. So we got that coming up in close days, close months. This month, something to look out for in November. So any new information, I will bring it on here. I'm eager and excited to get more information. I'm just surprised that it's just at a standstill. I've even been looking into the European sites to see what information they have, because they have European satellites out there too that supposedly work pretty good, so we could see. So not seeing too much on our end, but as it comes, I will come and bring it onto the channel. Didn't plan on being on long. Just trying to fire it back up and just work on some things and work out some kinks and whatnot with my channel. So, is this a comet? Is this an alien mothership, the Three Eye Atlas? We shall see. Oh, also, I want to say too, like I said in the beginning, when it was coming from the outer galaxies, it was red. It was showing a red light, and now it's green. When things are in our solar system, like meteorites and things like that, some type of matter, and it's going at a high speed, it tends to turn green when it's in our solar system. So there wasn't anything really unusual about that. But like I said, we have our cameras there on Mars. So as soon as we're able to, we'll get some pictures back. So until then, it's just been pretty crazy. Other than the fact that we know it is blowing off water. A lot of water is coming off of this interstellar object. So these are my own visuals. Well, I paid for the visuals, but then I kind of manipulating some of the visuals to give a good visual for us to look at while I'm reading along. But anyway, that's what I have for today. And last video did all right. That was the one with Colin Kaepernick, and once again, it was mysterious deaths, was particularly mysterious Black deaths. There was another body that turned up in the bayou just last week, which was after I did that. So I have some updates on that too. So I will be coming on this week, possibly tomorrow. We'll have to see. To where I'm gonna talk about the new information on the bayou bodies and what they're saying and why they've been staying so quiet about the bodies prior that have been turning up before now. So just some interesting things. Homelessness, they're saying plays a role in it, things like that. But it's still not adding up with some of the more recent Black females that have died in that Texas bayou. So I've got my eye on Texas. So that's what we have for that. And again, my name is Kiy NY7. I have things to do with the community, the inner communities, Black communities specifically, for the most part. I do have universal topics too, but they all, have meaning. So, yeah. So I'm here to provide and work on bringing more infotainment, things to do with the community, like I said, spirituality, sexuality, and the astros, which is astronomy and astrology. So I forgot the thing isn't on when you guys are typing. Yeah, but okay, you're dealing with racist folk. Yeah, they go by feelings and facts. Right, exactly. But then they say black people do that. It's like, yeah, right. um, we're the most chill people. Um, yeah, so that's what we have. I don't know if I had something. What else? Did I go over everything? Water is coming out of the three-eye atlas. And that three-eye atlas is set to pass by Jupiter next year, March. So March 2026. So we have these things going on in the world, but then we have a lot of racism that just doesn't stop. So I just showed the information on the MAGA pastor. He's considered a MAGA pastor that says stone YNs, the young N words, the young Negroes to death. Or you know what he's saying. And then the other part of the stream was suspiciously silent, three-eye atlas. I put it that way because everything's just been way too quiet. We're looking for images, information. We're not getting anything right now. We're hardly getting anything. So it's up to other amateur astronomers, similar to myself. And use your own telescope and try to do your own findings. If you come up with something, just try to let the world know. And that's that. So I appreciate y'all coming out. I'll see y'all this week. I'll have more information on any updates with interstellar object. I think that's something else. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate that. Just when I be feeling like things could be a little better, something taps me on the shoulder and says you're doing all right. So thank you. I forgot I lost my spot. That subscribe, I lost my spot. So, okay, yeah. So like I said, on Sundays, I tend to come on. I like to do things that have to do with spirituality, or you might consider it the energy we have, different things like that. Some things are nostalgia, like I did a throwback here, the love connection, the things we're looking for in relationships. What changed? Is it different now, or is it the same? But we just got different behaviors. And I showed Minister Farrakhan's daughter, Sister Donna Farrakhan, and her views on women switching up gender roles and how it's not going to work. So we had that. And again, I have videos on Three Eye Atlas. So we're just going to stay in tune with what's going on with that. That was Dame Dash and Dr. Phil going bankrupt, even though they're supposed to be, these wealthy men, but wealthy men make mistakes too. So anyway, that's what we have. I'll see too if we have anything new on the orb. I talked about this before too, the Buka orb that was discovered hovering in the sky over Columbia, Buka, Columbia. So we'll see if there's any changes going on with that. The only reason you can't get information through NASA on strange findings like the orb is because NASA specifies in astronomy journeys going outward. Something coming inward to us, they don't particularly study. So, because I was like, why NASA not talking about that? So I had to get into that and figure that out too. But all right, thank you for coming through. Feel free to share your thoughts when you do come through. I just ask people to just be respectful. I mean, that's all, if you can. So we'll see. More pastors going to be coming out this week. I have something. I think I'm calling it Black Pastors and Bastards. So we're going to be talking about some crazy things I'm seeing Black pastors doing too. But what we can pull out of some of the rhetoric and nonsense that we are seeing, there's still messages for us to get. So I think that no matter how ignorant someone is acting or things that are going on that are very strange, got our world upside down, get the message out of it because it may be something to learn. Life is going through a lot of changes for us right now. So I think it's just time that we pay more and more attention than ever before. And I'm going to help you with that. So I hope to see y'all back. I'm Kiy NY7 and y'all take care. All right, bro, Iron Fist, you take care too. I'll see you next time, hopefully. All right, y'all. Peace.
I mean, if you okay,
thought she said
why is you asking my black butt, am I okay? If your white butt okay?
I mean, a judge,
You okay? You ain't classy, you're ignorant.
Sit your $5 ass down.
Go back and read. Sit down.
I know. Look at that white goat. Oh, they are so cute. Oh, look, there's a black one. Oh, let me play my new meme. I did a little new church meme. Weekly, I do little quick church memes from serious to funny. Let me go. Because I did a live stream a while back too where Pastor Kenneth Copeland was saying that the devil is black. He said he's ebony black and gorgeous, looking like the devil himself. Yikes. And then we have another white pastor that speaks, and he speaks highly of black people. So, just getting different opinions, and it's going to give you something to think about. And I want to provoke your thoughts, and I invite you to share yours with mine. All right. So once again, peace, and thanks for coming out, y'all. I appreciate it.
I'm convinced he was ebony black and gorgeous.
If you're one of those people that you got problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth. Because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth. You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
I'm convinced he was ebony black and gorgeous.
If you're one of those people that you got problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth. Because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth. You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.